All right, Chris, we hear stories all the time about coaches in high schools using their influence to push prayer on students. And we have another case of that in Pennsylvania, I believe, Davidsville. Can you tell us what happened there?
Yeah, so this is less about explicitly coach prayer. This is about a group called the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. We deal with them a lot. Basically, this is a group that targets coaches in schools, has them join into this religious organization, then uses that to use school sports programs to advance the Christian faith.
Oh, okay.
So what we have in this situation is what they'll do is they'll have, say, a character coach. In this case, character coach Todd Cover.
What does a character coach mean?
Pastor, preacher.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that term
person.
before.
Oh, yeah. It's very common because if they wrote, hey, this is our football pastor, people might catch on to what's going on, and we don't have to be the ones to come in and clear it up. It can kind of take care of itself. So they sell themselves as character coach. Yeah, we're going to not coach you on your football playing. We're going to coach you on your character. Yep. So we learned that there was a character coach in Davidsville, Pennsylvania. He was allowed to lead Christian devotionals, pray with students in the high school football program. He reportedly had been leading a devotional with players before every single home game, during which he ensured each student had the chance to pray and talk during their time together. He stated that those devotionals are a great time to get the team participating and involved in conversations about Christ's love.
You know what I didn't hear? Getting better at football. No.
Yeah, so that's the coach's job. This is the character coach who's there to preach. It is a outside adult, unaffiliated with the school, who just comes in to spread religion. Our great staff attorney, Maddie Ziegler, wrote to the school district and let them know, hey, by the way, this is completely illegal to bring in a religious leader to come and proselytize and sort of harass your students and try to get them to have conversations about Christ's love. She said it's well beyond the scope of a public school system to institute a position which conflates character with Christianity and which inevitably involves advocating religion to students, to which he has admitted to doing. We let the district know you can't let outside adults or organizations in to lead, organize, or regularly participate in any sort of student religious club. That's how it gets. FCA gets away with this. FCA is a student club, which makes it legal. And as long as it's actually a student club, a bunch of students getting together and saying like, hey, we're all Christians and we just want to get together as a student club. You allow student clubs, we want to do this. Totally fine. The problem is the FCA intentionally will just have adults lead these. So it's like, hey, I'm the local pastor, youth pastor. I'm going to go into the school, get my youth kids from the church to start a club. Now I'm going to come into the public school and start kind of getting at all the kids and things like that.
So it makes a big difference if an outside person is facilitating the club than if the students are.
It's entirely different because students have the right to religious freedom within the school, so they can create a religious club. Outside adults do not have the religious right to come into a school to proselytize and try to convert kids. So basically the school cannot allow religious organizations to treat schools as a recruiting ground for religious missions. This is FCA's practice, as I said. So we wrote to the school district, and as a result of our letter, the district conducted an investigation, which will now lead to clearer boundaries between the school athletics and the coercive religious practices the FCA does. So the district's legal representative wrote back to us and said that the administration explained that we need a clear distinction between student-led and FCA-led activities as we move forward. Additionally, Mr. Cover will no longer be serving as a character coach for the football team. So in this case, he's out. He's no longer going to be trying to engage in religious activities with these kids. If those kids still want to have the FCA, if a group of kids want to get together to pray on the football team or whatever of their own volition, they're totally free to. This is not about stopping individuals, students' religious freedom rights. This is about saying you can't just have this adult coming in, putting pressure and organizing all of these things.
Yeah, well, I gotta say, I was surprised just now to hear. I had never heard of this character coach thing. It is such a strange phenomenon. It seems like something that, does this happen in sports other than football?
Yeah.
Okay.
It transfers. Fellowship of Christian Athletes works in other clubs. It works from all levels. I mean, like at the professional sports level, there are chaplains on the team and stuff. Like for whatever reason, Football tends to be the worst. Football is just the most closely connected. But we do see chaplains, character coaches, and things like that for basketball teams, stuff like that. Like I said, it's an issue when it is a public school.
Sure.
So like, for example, like NFL teams will have prayer before games and they have chaplains and stuff like that. And for a professional NFL team, a bunch of adults in a private organization, cool, go for it. Maybe God will help you win the football game, whatever. In a public school, we don't let that happen, because then what happens to the kid who is not religious on the team?
Might feel pressure to conform, or might feel excluded, or might not get as much playtime if they're not participating as much.
And that's from the coach. It's still just weird. You just got this guy who's not the coach. Like, the coach is supposed to be there. He's teaching you football.
What's this guy doing here?
He's probably a gym teacher. Yeah, this outside adult is here, and it's like, what's character coach Todd doing? It's like, well, his job is to come in and lead kids in prayer. It's like, okay, well, can we lead our own prayer? I mean, does that really need to be something that you need an adult to come and handle? No. Yeah,
it kind of gives the implication that somebody wants us to be more religiously motivated in our sport. And also, it makes it seem like you don't have character unless you're religious in this way. So lots of problems, and I'm glad we were able to put a stop to that.
Yeah.
Our legal team works every day to defend our secular constitution. We've stopped unconstitutional prayer in public schools, shut down government-funded religious programs, and much more. If you see a state church violation in your area, you can report it through our website at the link on your screen.